Now, believe it or not, I have played a lot of video games over the years, and I mean a lot. But one question I often get asked is, Joey, what are your top 5 favorite games of all time? Now, the answer to that question varies depending on what mood I'm in, but you can safely expect the Metroid Prime trilogy to be my number 1 all the time. Yes, I know, it's 3 games, but whatever, this is my channel, I can do what I want, come on. Now, as for the rest of them, we got Witcher 3 Wild Hunt at number 2, Breath of the Wild at number 3, Doom 2016 number 4, maybe that would be replaced by Doom Eternal, but I still need to think about it, and, wow. Now, compared to those masterpieces, this really isn't much of anything, but have you played it? Sonic has been an icon of 90s video games. He is rude, crude, and most importantly, blue. These games are crafted perfectly. They're fast and fun, they have so many secret power-ups and stages, they may also make you want to rip your hair out at times, but hey, that's the point. You die, start back up again, learn from your mistakes, and finally beat that boss. It is so satisfying. So with all these awesome games, why is Sonic Adventure 2 my favorite? Well, it's not because it's the best Sonic game, it's not even close actually, but I can chalk up my reasoning to some good old-fashioned nostalgia. And I know I'm not alone in this. Every other person I've talked to who loves this game loves it because of those same reasons. They have great childhood memories with it. So normally I would begin by talking about the story, but I think I want to start with what really makes this game special. Sonic Adventure 2 brought in a couple of new characters into the Sonic universe. First we have Rouge the Bat? As a kid, I often thought of her as a mouse with wings instead of a bat. I'm sure there are tons of white bats out there, but this really threw me off. Like, does she still look like a bat? Anyway, I digress. And of course, we have Shadow the Hedgehog, one of the most badass characters in video games. I mean, he gets a gun later on. How much more badass can you get? Actually, that's really stupid. Shadow can match Sonic's speed, has an insane backstory, has all the same abilities as Sonic. To the untrained eye, and I mean really untrained eye, you might even think he was Sonic. Ha! I found you, faker. Faker? I think you're the fake Joey around here. You're comparing yourself to me? Ha! You're not even good enough. I'll make you eat those words. Stop interrupting me, for the love of God! Oh, and he can manipulate time.
Chaos Control!
Upon release, it was unheard of to ever have the ability to play as a bad guy in a Sonic game, let alone have a whole story around him. This was crazy, and I couldn't get enough. So much so that I bought Shadow the Hedgehog 2 years later because nothing was cooler than a cartoon hedgehog using guns. I had issues. The game splits the 6 characters off into 3 class types and levels. Both Sonic and Shadow are considered speed types. They have courses that you have to get through as fast as possible. These include getting chased by a totally unrealistic semi-truck from hell to jumping across gravity pillars in space. Since Sonic games are meant to be fast, their levels are by far the best parts of this game. You get to roll around at the speed of sound, you got places to go, gotta follow my rainbow. It's quick, you have to be precise, and boy is it ever fun. When you don't mess up. Oh my god, did he just light on fire? I get that that's realistic, but this game's rated for everyone. Knuckles and Rouge are treasure hunters who are trying to get their paws on the almighty Chaos Emeralds and shards of the Master Emerald. When playing as them, your objective is to go around each level using an emerald detector to collect shards, keys, or whatever the plot calls for. Most of these levels are pretty easy, but when you get to the space ones, it can get frustrating real quick. And yes, Sonic Team came up with interplanetary gravity before Nintendo. Who's the king of platforming now, Mario? Anyway, the collectibles are always placed in random areas whenever you replay the stages. They're fine, but they totally kill the pacing of the game. You go from racing down the streets as a hedgehog, and then it just sucks the life out of you. Finally, we have Tails and Eggman, who have walking mechs, so their gameplay is pretty much shoot everything in sight. That's about it. Oh, you can also unlock the ability to hover? That's fun too. Yeah, the Emerald Hunter and Walking Mech quests are kinda dumb, but the Sonic and Shadow sections more than make up for it. These were just incredible for the early 2000s, having you speedily run throughout the levels and find all the secrets and even replay them to complete the challenges. That said, I know why you're really here. Just like every Sonic game, the music in Adventure 2 is fantastic. Every song fits the tone the level is going for. Kicking things off, Escape from the City starts off with a very quick and punchy beat where you are controlling Sonic for the first time. No doubt, it's one of the best tracks in this game, and it doesn't stop there. From the catchy instrumental of Metal Harbor to the high-impact beat of Green Forest, and dude, every Knuckles track has no right to be as good as they are. Pumpkin Hill's theme especially, or as I've heard the kids on the Sonic forums call it, Pimpin' Hill. I'm gonna play this song at my wedding. Don't tell my future wife. However, none of these songs compare to Crush 40's Live and Learn. Man, I get massive chills hearing this song. And when it plays during the final hazard, I tell you, no other Sonic game could match this final boss. Overall, there are just so many great beats I could listen to on the soundtrack for days and never get tired of. It's all just perfect and suits the game's variety so well. Alright, I first played this game when I was 8 years old, and back then I thought, wow, this story is amazing. Looking at it today though, oof. So Dr. Eggman breaks into a high-security facility owned by the Guardian Units of the Nations, or GUN for short. Hey, you know who else has a gun? Anyway, Eggman breaks into this facility to retrieve a failed experiment of his grandfather's dubbed the Ultimate Life Form, who turns out to be Shadow. He offers to help Eggman take over the world by using the abandoned space colony Ark and Chaos Emeralds. Later, Shadow steals an emerald, runs into our boy Sonic, and flees. We have a Mario Sunshine situation here, where Gun thinks Sonic is stealing from them and then captures him. Everyone on this planet must see in black and white or something, because one of them is clearly blue. Fortunately, Tails and Amy break into Gun's island base to save Sonic, and they escape right before it gets blowed up by Eggman, Shadow, and Rouge, who is not really evil, she's just a government spy. You could totally tell, right? Eggman makes a public broadcast threatening to destroy the Earth unless his demands are met. And just to make sure everyone understands how serious he is, he blows up half of the frickin' moon. I'm no scientist, but wouldn't that cause enough destruction on its own? I mean, the tidal waves, the moon crashing into the Earth, but no, I guess this is just an intimidation tactic. I mean, it showed up fine again in Shadow the Hedgehog. What is this game? After a bunch of things happen, Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Amy jump into Eggman's shuttle as it's taking off towards the space colony Ark. When they get there, Tails somehow has a fake Chaos Emerald, to which Sonic takes and tries to fool Eggman into putting it in his cannon. That came out wrong, but Eggman isn't as stupid as Tails and figures out the ploy.
So, how did you know it wasn't the real one?
Tails! Because you just told me, Fox Boy.
And then, Sonic dies. Just kidding, this isn't Sonic 06. Our blue boy takes the fake Chaos Emerald and uses Chaos Control with it somehow. Because wavelengths or something. Man, this story is dumb. Then Eggman tries firing the cannon with all the Chaos Emeralds and the Ark begins to fall apart. This causes an old transmission of his grandfather Gerald Robotnik to be broadcast on all monitors, stating that the Ark is programmed to collide with Earth once all the Chaos Emeralds are obtained. This is revenge for the government killing all his fellow scientists and his granddaughter Maria, who, right before she died, asked Shadow to protect the people of Earth. Yeah, earlier in the game he kind of twisted those words because revenge. After this, everyone gathers together and decides to put their past behind them and stop the Ark from crashing. This leads to a section where you play as every character to get to the center of the Ark, until you encounter the Bio-Lizard, an Ultimate Life Form prototype that Shadow defeats with little effort. However, that doesn't stop the lizard from attaching itself to the Ark to continue pulling it towards Earth. In order to take it down once and for all, Sonic and Shadow use the emeralds to go full-on Dragon Ball Z and transform into Super Sonic and Super Shadow, resulting in the most epic boss battle in Sonic history. Live and learn! Hanging on the edge of tomorrow! Live and learn! In a last-ditch effort to stop the Ark from colliding with Earth, Sonic and Shadow use Chaos Control to teleport the Ark back to a safe enough distance. Unfortunately, this greatly weakens Shadow and he falls down to Earth.
Maria, this is what you wanted, right?
Now this was a very emotional moment when I was a kid, but now I'm like, it's kind of corny. Yeah, the story is just very out there and extremely dark for a Sonic game, until we get to Shadow the Hedgehog, of course. But the story isn't the reason we play Sonic games, right? Right, because we have this. And here you thought I forgot about such a wonderful place. The Chao Gardens are fantastic. Look at them, they're so cute! You raise a Chao from a hatchling all the way through to it being a big bad killing machine that can kick any other Chaos that get in its way. As far as side missions and games go, this has got to be one of my favorites. Wait a minute, where's Chao Karate? Now it's got to be somewhere on this game, like it just can't... No. It's DLC! Don't play this game on 360. Through the game's main story, you collect these things called Chao drives. You can choose to ignore them and play your way through no problem, but if you decide to take them back to the Chao Garden, you can power up your boy. Green increases its running speed, purple can make them fly further, well, more like glide or fall slower, red helps them gain muscle mass and power, and yellow turns them into Michael Phelps. Or Flipper, your choice. You may ask, Joey, why would you want to do this? And to that I'll say, it's fun. It's a lot of fun. More fun than you might think. It's extremely hard to get away from. Is this game perfect? No, it's not even close. But it holds a special spot on my list and my heart. It was the first decent 3D Sonic game, and it was the first Sonic game I had the pleasure of owning. Calm down, I played the Genesis ones a lot before this, I just never owned them. The new characters and modern ways to play showed me what Sonic was truly capable of in a 3D space. That said, the best 3D Sonic game is definitely Sonic Generations. You should play that. Not my favorite, but you should play it. Now if you'll excuse me, I have some business to take care of. Smell like Faker up in here!
Oh, you
don't
want
want
to
to
talk
You don't get to.
about
I'm gonna make you
fakers.
eat those words.
Well,
I'm
let me
gonna
tell
spoon-feed
you
those
something,
words, you
you
fake
understand
son of
me?
a... Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching this video here on FerrisWheelPro. Check out my other videos if you want to see more, and subscribe to know when I upload another one. Special thanks goes to my Patreon supporters, Stephanie Ferris and Smash JT. In the meantime, this has been FerrisWheelPro, and I'll see you on the next ride.